Johari coach. I trained with him a couple of years. I trained with his brother also when in the Indian camp. I trained with him also. So I'm very happy he's joined us, and I'm sure he'll help us, with his experience with international badminton. And Indonesia, everybody knows, is one of the best badminton playing countries, and he'll help us nurture champions. So please welcome him.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Okay, I try for the keep players discipline, because many time I heard the player usually in the evening collect mobile, because I worry if mobile not collect until night they mobile. Okay, many time I listen to from coach also. Okay, I try. I'm here. I try to do the best for your child. Okay? I try to do the best. Hope, can everybody can become high standard. I want for everybody, for player, make international standard. I try to do the best. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I'm very happy that you people make it. I know how much concern you have got for your children, and I'm sure your concern might be on so many factors. One thing she did give in detail about what's the complaint we get from the children at times is. I hope my language in English will be good, or you want me to speak in, because I know only Hindi is naturally our mother tongue, and I can speak English. Anybody difficulty in understanding English, then I will shift it to Hindi. How you feel? It's
English,
good?
English is fine.
No problem. I'll try to be as simple as possible so that you understand. And you can ask the questions also later on, right? So I'm sure she didn't come forward with the complaints what we are getting from the children. Most of it is about the about what we are doing about to maintain the discipline. And one of the first things what we have done is to ask the children to submit their mobiles. Many of the children I know are not happy with that. But let me tell you, I'll tell you the episode. One of the academy was there at Chennai in Sivakasi, Hudson Academy. It's a wonderful place I have gone to. 3 days I was there. I was invited over there, and I believe the first thing they told me about is that they are collecting the mobiles from the children for the whole long week. The children are given the mobile only for 2 hours on Saturday, and on Sunday, I think 3 or 4 hours on Sunday. And that too, they have got to sit over there and in the open, and then they can see, or they can talk to anybody or something like that, or any important call is there from their homes. They will be coming to the office, the office will inform you, and then the children can come and talk to your parents or anybody over there in the office. So for the whole long week, it's not there. Even the person in charge over there, Ajit Adidas, he was telling me that few children had come the same day they left. The moment they came to know that the mobile will be taken, they didn't want to stay there, and they left the academy. He said they are not worried because we want to inculcate the discipline. And I am sure that all of you as parents also, I also use the mobile. But how and when we have got to use is very important. It is a very important thing in our life now, but at the same time, for the young minds, it can be detrimental for their progress. I don't have to stress on this factor more. We'll be going to the other subject, right? This is one of the complaints what many of the children have got, but we put our foot down in this matter. that mobile will be collected from all the children so that they have got a sleep in the night, proper sleep in the night. In the early mornings, they are able to get fresh and ready for their training. Otherwise, they are waking up with the mobiles. They are there or something like that. You know how adversely it can affect their training and their even the mental condition also. So this was about the mobile factor. The other thing which we want to tell you, I'm sure many of you might have got some apprehensions about their progress. One thing I want to tell you about is, let me tell you that the apprehension about their study and the sports. You might be feeling that is it possible that they can come up with the sports at the same time they are very good in the studies also. Let me tell you, she's also there with me. She was a 4 year old from that age. She's there with me, right? So let me tell you that even on the day when she had the examination, matriculation examination, at 6 o'clock she was there on the field. Then I asked her, "Aren't you going for your examination?" She said, "No, I'll go, but unless and until I do 1 hour of exercise, I'll not be able to write my examination also." And she was all through her life. She was first class. The same thing with all the children who has given the performances. Let me tell you, all the children who has given the performance at the national level and international level. I'm speaking about only about them. That all of them are first class only. Not a single boy or a girl who has given the performance at the top level was second class student. All of them were first class students only. I'm proud of that more than their what performance they have given in the sports. So I firmly believe that education and the sports can go side by side where you can excel both in your studies and the sports also. It's very well possible. One single episode I will tell you when these girls, she and her partner, Shruti Kurian, when they came back from an international tournament, I still remember the days. It was 19th of February. They came back from an international tournament, and both of them they came and said, "Sir, our examination is hardly about 23 days, or 22 days, or 23 days." I said, "Then what's the idea?" "Sir, we'll prepare for the examination." I said, "Okay, but one thing I am telling you that you people always got a first class. That unless and until you tell that first class you will not be able to achieve, I don't want you to sit for the examination this time." Both of them in the unison section, first class to I got. The reason I'll give you, they have been attending the international matches, the camps throughout the year, and let me tell you what was their attendance in the whole year was 20 or 21 days in the college for the whole year. But whenever they have attended the camps or attending the international tournaments or the national tournaments, they have been there with books because I have been in so many camps also with them. And I know that they have got to sit with the book every day. And that's what we want to inculcate to the children, the discipline, to see that they should feel the responsibility, that their education is a must. There is no respite from the education. It's a must. They have got to get the education. And unless and until they are good students, they cannot be good players also. Let me be very, very clear about that. Because many of the people, the old time was there when you might have heard about that. They used to say, "Kheloge, kudoge, hoge bada, padhoge, likhoge, hoge nawab." All that has been changed now. Earlier time, they used to feel anybody going for the sports field, they will not be a good student. So now that whole thing has changed now. And people have started here, and let me also tell you, the top players who have given the performance in the Commonwealth Games also, many of them are very good students, and many of them are holding very high posts also because of their education. The education is a must. We cannot have no respite from that. And that's the reason, let me tell you, that we have made the arrangement with the, you know that this premises belongs to our school, Sujata School, and we have got the tie-up with them that in case we need your services of your faculties, we'll be using their services to see that the education is given to the children. Even Sujata is saying their school, we have got our trainer also. She has been made in charge that after the dinner is over, she has got to see that the children are sitting over there with their books for 1 hour, 1.5 hours every day. So we are looking after that factor also. But it will be good in case from your side also, at times I found, let me tell you about it. Why I'm telling you after the reason. That at times the parents can say, "Sir, we are not worried about their education. Let them be good parents." That's not possible. That's not possible. And I always tell about parents, Don't tell this and inculcate this in the young minds. No. You make it clear that education is a must. You have got to have the education. At the same time, this game is your interest. We are there for you to help you out in your interest to take, see that you are becoming good players. No, we are trying to help you out in this. That is your interest. We are helping you out. But education is a must. This, if you are getting from the parents, I think that will be a very, very important factor. No, very, very important factor. And another thing which comes usually from the parent side as well, that they are very eager that they should be able to improve very, very fast. So let me tell you about certain things about the development of the child, right from the childhood to the particular age group and all. See, if we are giving too much of exercise and certain exercises which have got to be avoided for the children. Why? Because their musculature, their joints are not fully developed. In case we try to put so much of pressure on the children from a very tender ages, for which their bodies are not ready or their body is not developed, their muscles are not developed, their joints are not becoming strong enough, let me tell you that it can be detrimental for their life. They can forget about the player. They cannot be playing also. Rather, I will tell you, at a later age, they can be crippled. So that's the reason we have got to be very, very clear about that. At what age they are, how much is their, we give two things. We call it, one is the biological age. Biological age is their real age when they were born and how many years of this thing their age is. Another we call it this the training age. How much is the training age? For how long a boy or a girl is training? And in that training, what are the factors which have been developed? And I see why I'm telling you I've got a very strong reason for that. These children who are there from childhood, I try to develop all the factors gradually, and I'm proud of one more thing. None of my players who have been doing very heavy exercise, very heavy repeated, very heavy. Even it is heavier than what even our top players, Indian players are doing. It was heavier than that. But they never got any serious injuries. Sometimes accidental here and here, there was something, a little sprain in the ankle or something is entirely different. That's a part of life. But otherwise, they never got any serious injuries because they were developed right from the childhood. I have looked into that factor, that all the factors are developed. Right? But what happens is many of the children are coming to us at a particular time when they have already learned some certain things, their musculature is not fully developed. We have got to make the corrections in the basic movements also, in their basic stroke protection also. A lot of corrections have to be made. And every time you can ask your children, I tell all the children who take the admission here, the first thing I tell them is one thing. My dear friend, see that you are not pushing yourself beyond a certain level. Whatever is you are able to do, you do it minimum for about 2 weeks' time. And slowly, once you find that you are able to manage, because what happens is when they are training with the others who are already training for with us for about a year's time or a little more, they suddenly feel, oh, we are doing very less, let us push ourselves. And few of them, because of the COVID and all, many of them are sitting at home also. So their body has got totally rustic. Their muscles have gone, I'd rather we call it muscle atrophy. The muscle has gone down. Their conditions are very poor. And unless and until they are slowly developing it, it is possible that they will be having the injuries. That's the reason we don't want them to push beyond certain limits so that they are not getting into trouble. So we push them slowly. So these are certain factors which we have got to be very, very careful. Now, some of the parents they came and said, sir, why our children are they are playing for 2 years? Their performance is very poor. Let me tell you, for the last 50 years I'm in this field, and I know one thing. All these people who talk about too much of very good talent and this and that, yes, talent is something. What is talent is basically we call it the neuromuscular coordination of the body. When this coordination is there, we say it's a particular boy or a girl is a talented boy or a girl. Right. But we at times even we have to work on the basic factors also. And certain players who have been working with me, we have developed certain basic factors also in them. They take a little time, but in case they have got the will to learn, in case they have fixed up a goal that I want to achieve something in life, they'll be able to go very, very high. And it's very much possible. Any child, I make it very, very clear, our job as coaches, we plan the things for them. We just plan the things so that they are developing both physically, mentally, skill, tactical sense, all these things we have got to develop in the children. Right? And what is their capacity? I'll give you a simple example. Many of you, I'm sure, you will be in for a shock if I tell you that at times when the children come, I ask them, you have been training somewhere, how much, say we call it abdomen, it's supposed to be a very important muscle of the body, abdomen. So we call abdomen as a powerhouse of the body. Now, how much sit-ups you are doing? He says, we are doing 50, or 2 sets of 50, 100. I said, oh, very good. And then I called one of our children who have been regularly training, and I asked them, how much you are doing? Sir, we are doing 1,000. And I asked them, what is the capacity? Do you know what's the world record? Then they say 3,000, 4,000. And when I tell them, I know the world record only. When I tell them it is 26,800 or something, you are in a shock. I know that. That by a 13-year-old boy, this record is also broken. Right, that's it. The human capacity is immense, immense. Nobody could know what is the human capacity. I'll give you another example of the human capacity, rather two examples. Once, about 15, 17 years back, I'm sure if you have got through the paper and all in Andhra Pradesh, we had tsunami. In the tsunami, suddenly the water came rushing. This nobody told me. This had come in the paper. What I'm telling you, it had come in the paper. Right. Suddenly the water came gushing. And a lady, about 56 years old lady, with two children. One was about, say, 9 or 10, another was about 11 or 12, both brothers, and along with their grandma. Now, both of them, all of them, they hang with a branch of the tree. And they were neck deep holding the branch of the tree so that they are not going along with the waves. How much time do you think they can be hanging over there? Naturally, without water, because it's all contaminated. Water was all poisonous. They could not have the water. They could not have the food. And rather, the very important fact, they could not have the sleep. For 7 days and nights they were hanging. Could you imagine? Just imagine what is the capacity of human. 7 days and nights they were holding the branch of the tree and they were hanging over there. And after that, when the water started receding, they formed a big snake coming. Are you going to hold us then? But it was there, life and the question of life and death. The elderly lady said, yeah, we are at a little distance, we are finding a little piece of land. In case we are going over there, our lives can be saved. Then they got hold of the snake, went out there, they were lying unconscious. They were picked up from there, and the whole story had come. This had come in the paper, that's the reason. Okay, another thing. Recently, not long back, about 7, 8 years back or something, we had earthquake over there, and this the earth, what you call this sliding, which has happened in Nepal. Yeah, landslides and all. Earthquake and all in Nepal. Right. A lady was buried, elderly, was buried under the debris for 23 days, and she was taken alive. So what is the capacity of the human being? Immense capacities we have got. Only the thing is how we are going to tap those capacities to increase those things. And that's what we try to inculcate among these children. We want them to work with a single-minded effort and fixing up a goal. But as I said, it might take a little time for them to really understand, put their effort into that and get the best of the results. But as parents, at times, you are getting a little uneasy about that. Why they are not showing? Another very important factor about that. As far as the game is concerned, let me tell you that many of the people say about child when they going through the match, they are not able to perform. Isn't it true? That's right. I mean, a few minutes back, I was coming with somebody. I asked him, "How about you're going in the car, and suddenly a policeman gives you ask you to stop? Aren't you feeling nervous? Your palpitation will go high. You have got the license. You have got all the papers. You have got all the things pertaining to that's your vehicle. You have got all the things. But suddenly when the policeman gives you this thing and to stop and come on the side, your palpitation will go high. That is natural with the human beings. At the same time, I'll give you another example. You might be a boss in your company, right? And a peon is sitting over there at your office. And you'll be giving it a bell, you will walk in. How many times? 10 times, 15, 20 times in a day's time he will be coming. You will ask him to bring some tea, ask him to call some officer, take the file. This what is work? Do you think he will be getting nervous when you give a call? He will never feel nervous because 10 times he is coming and inside and going out. Because he is getting used to the affinity, the environment. He is getting the situation. He is able to live in the situation. He will not be feeling nervous. And that's the reason we want the children to go and participate in the tournaments. That is the exposure without which no player had come up in the world. Forget about any sports, if they are not given the exposure at the proper time, they will not be able to make a mark at the top level sport. That's a must that they have got to go high because they have got to get used to that and how emotionally intelligent we are to face the situation and do what we want. That's where it takes a little time for the children to really live in that situation and give the better and best performance. They usually, this is also the one complaint what we get from the parents that the max he doesn't play well or she doesn't play well. It happens with anybody and anybody. Even I know some of the top Indian players, definitely I will not name them, but after playing for 10 years for the country, 10 years, they have opened up and they have started giving their performance. After playing for the country for 10 years, they have started being opened up and started playing their game. I know such people also. So this is a part of their life of the development. But very importantly, the patience is required. At times when you are at home speaking against the coaches, better to take them out instead of talking against the coaches. Because once they lose the confidence in a coach, they can never be learning from him or her. Let me be very, very clear about that. That confidence in a coach. For instance, you are going to a doctor. You want to take the medicine, but you don't have the faith. Maybe Dr. Bekare. He might be giving the best of the medicine. The same medicine given by a person on whom you have got the faith or you have got the complete confidence, that is going to have the profit because it has got to do your mind also. This is the most important thing in a human being, and everybody has got it. Only thing is how you make use of that is most important. Everybody has got the brains. But how you make the use of the brain is what's important. And that's where we try to make the children understand of what they are doing, how they can develop, and we give them total freedom. Let me be very clear about that. Here you'll find that children are very, very free to come to the coaches and ask any time. They can come to me, they can come to him, they have got other coaches who are working over here, even our trainers who are here, that they are very, very free to talk to the children and we give them the complete freedom. Whenever they want to talk anything, they want to ask any questions without any hesitation, they can come and ask about that. So these are the basic few factors I want to do. And any of the questions you want to ask me, him, or him, I will be able to answer you. And I'm sure this is being recorded. Yeah. And it's being recorded also. If you want these things to be given to the other parents. Any other questions without any hesitation. So without any hesitation, we have to answer you because I'm sure. One thing I'll tell you. Yeah, let me be very, very clear. I'm a vegetarian myself, and whatever food we get here, myself and my wife, we are staying here in the same premises. We have the same food. Only the thing is, everybody is at home. They might be having a separate preparation because of which you like it or don't like it, or sometimes it happens or something. For that also, we give the freedom to the children. That one of the child at present, I don't know who is they have made we have given the freedom to the children to select one person, senior person, who can tell me what is that you want for tomorrow morning, what is that you want, but give in detail in 1 week's program. So that can be made. They are very clear about that. And also, let me tell you that Kranti had not come. He might have given you also a little more details about that. Even we are trying at present to get all the organic things only being grown in the other facility what they have got
In the farm.
in the farmhouse. In the farmhouse, they are growing everything over there at the farmhouse, and we want to give the children the purest of the form as far as the food is concerned. So, in case if the children have got anything, only the thing is they have got to come forward and tell us what is the difficulty they are facing. But one thing is definitely certain, you also will realize about that. The children coming from the north, south, east, west, and everything, they have got different likings and dislikes. Then for everybody's liking, the thing is not possible. It's not possible to prepare. So we try to give the best. I'm also having the same food as I said, and I'm enjoying the food, and nothing, no, I'm not feeling any difficulty at all. At the age of 78, I'm alive because of the operation. I'm a little limping, it's different, but otherwise, it's absolutely certain that I'm enjoying the food, I'm enjoying my all my health and everything over here. Whatever the questions you have got, I think we'll make a note and we can answer you. She can answer you
Any
more than
questions?
any
Yeah.
questions without any hesitation you can ask.
Any question? Any doubt?
Any doubts, any questions? Yeah.
uh, like what Saresh said about the using of mobiles. It's absolutely true. Because one of my friends is ophthalmologist. So he has seen highest number of spectacles. Now students are wearing. We run also schools like one batch complete spectacles are there. We have to tell them all the students like apart from education there are been rest of the things. That the important point. When we got message we supported that and he said no need to use mobiles and all. Actually, we suggested to give normal mobile so that they can do incoming and outgoing. Only thing is Wednesday class is there, so that time they have to use.
Unfortunately, online schools started with COVID. Otherwise, I was planning to take away
yeah,
all the phones.
Yeah.
So, what do you suggest?
Yeah, only on Wednesdays and like Saturday, Sunday, and daily 2 hours if you can give, that's more than enough. Rest of the time not required.
Please give them
We are
phones
giving-
after dinner only.
After dinner,
After dinner, just for half an hour. That's it.
I think we can be a lot more stricter about
On
phones.
Yes, absolutely. Let them because phones are not good for them.
So, what is happening, I'll tell you, when the children are cribbing about, when they're not happy with this phone, they go to their parents, complain about food. They complain that हमको खेलने को बराबर नहीं मिल रहा है. You know, these are believable reasons, right? Now, parents as parents, you'll say, oh, मेरा बेटा खाना नहीं खा पा रहा. Oh shit, no train. My child is not being focused at. That is all believable, right? You won't believe almost 40 kids left because of this phone only. Giving all bahanas, telling यहाँ पे training बराबर नहीं हो रही है, खाना बराबर. Because of the food issue, you won't be. I had a surprise inspection. One of the boys here. I ate the food. I'm like, no, Akka, because you came today. Today food is good. I was like, no, I never told anybody I was coming. I'm eating here with you. So you understand? So the South Indians want spicy food. The North Indians want not so spicy food. So I'm trying to tell them. See, I've been in government hostels. I mean, you should be in one of those. You understand what I'm saying? You have to adjust. Now I go to America, my mom's खाना नहीं मिलेगा ना वहाँ पे. वहाँ पे जो मिलेगा वो टाइम में भूख लगा है मेरा मैच है. I have to adjust, right? They have Kashyap, Guru. They're all Indian team players. They're all Brahmins because there's no food. They started eating. They started eating beef, pork. They eat more meat than me because it is a necessity for that particular time. My point is that we need to teach the children to adjust. Every time, even when they grow up or maybe they become mothers and fathers, the situation will not be the ideal situation all the time. Now, how to make the best of it is what we have to encourage as parents, is my observation, because parents are very now protective. They know about their children more than what I think my parents used to know because we didn't have phones. I didn't have any resources to go complain to my parents. एक दिन my coach shouted at me, I can't go and tell my father immediately. And my father said, it was very clear. Our sir tells, jump from the building. तुम jump करो, उसके बाद पूछो क्या हुआ है. He was that blunt. He never gave me a scope of complaining. Even if I was not happy, I had to endure it. I had to. Me and Arif sir, I'm telling you, we've had a lot of differences, but I endured it. I stayed there. So that makes me more stronger mentally. What is happening now is what I observe with the kids. They want to give up very quick because parents are also agreeing with them. So the same thing doesn't happen with the schools and education. When you put them in school, you don't go around questioning teachers. I mean, that's my observation. As much as how much you question when they are playing badminton or doing any other sport, you have a lot of. But when it comes to education, when you put them in school, they have to listen. So my point is, you have to tell them, and you have to trust the organization, the coaches, and that trust has to show in the children no matter what you are going to be here. It is going to be tough. It will be tough. It will be tougher. You have to be here. That's it. If you make that point, then children have no other way but to work hard. Now, what is happening with their phones, with their resources to complain easily? Everything has become like a temporary. Parents also will go to a badminton academy. When many of my parents came to me and said, 6 months we'll try here. Six months में कैसे आएगा result? I worked out for so many years, 4, 5 years, and then I started performing. Again, my case, again, I was very quick to the Indian team. I was 15 when I was in Indian team. But there are stories when they were in Indian team at 19, 20, 23. Everybody has a different pace. We need to respect that. We need to trust. Basically, it has to be consistent. And you have to, in my experience, what I did was trust my coach. Whatever he said, I did it. And that's why I came to here. And my parents, of course. Parents also trusted the coach. So my point is right now, don't make it very easy for kids. That you might feel, I know there are children, our blood. We don't want them to suffer. I understand that very, very well. But till they are uncomfortable, that improvement will not come. If you keep them comfortable, then you might as well keep them at home, right? Provide. They have to feel uncomfortable. They have to feel the pain to reach the highest level in whatever they do. Not only in badminton. Badminton is what? Till 35, right? After that, you want them to lead an independent life, right? They will not come back home and sit with us. You don't want that for our kids. We are teaching them, educating them is for them to become, independent so that they have their own lives, right? So I think we need to push them harder, make it tougher. I will try and do the phone thing. Maybe all of you should, I hope this goes to the other parents as well. Take away the smartphone, give them a normal phone. They will crib now, but they will thank us later. I know that because I cribbed a lot, but then I'm thanking everybody right now. So I understand. I realized a little late. I hope they realize it earlier than me. They can do much, much better than me. But yeah, food is good. I had the food. I eat the food. Don't let them complain. Mirchi ज़्यादा चाहिए, order pickle. Mirchi ज़्यादा है, dahi डालो. That's how we have to adjust because it's a hostel. I cannot accommodate. And what I'm doing, because again, I want to make things better for children. The menu starts from day 1 to day 10. It is not Monday, Tuesday. It is one day to 10th day different food, and then the 11th day again the first day food. So I made it like that so that they don't get bored with food as well. Again, I'm also trying different ways to keep them happy, but they'll never be happy. So even with 14 courts, children come and tell me that हमको chance नहीं मिला खेलने के लिए, so it comes as a shock to me. you know. So we need to push them, and again, education for me is very important. I think with the help of education, I was able to understand badminton much better. Today, what the way I understand badminton, I'm not boasting. I think there are very few who can understand badminton in that way. It's because of my education. If we want good champions to come out, we need to educate them, educate, because education is like exercise for brain. All right, their horizon will broaden if they have good education. I want you to push, follow up. I don't know what way you find, because a parent is a parent. They will be scared of mother and मम्मी पापा, कि हम लोगों ने बोल दिया फिर वो लोग जाएंगे फिर अपना ही करेंगे. My point is, let's find a way. You also give me suggestions how to, but I want studies to be a very important part of this academy. And any questions, please, and any suggestions. Phone, yeah.
One more thing is like now they are playing under 13, under 15, under 17 academy. So sometimes some kids are they are getting good success, some they are not getting. So since for how long they can
What is your ultimate goal?
playing for nations now.
Correct. So when my ultimate goal was to be a senior champion. So Arif sir and my father told, even if I don't win under 13, 16 doesn't matter, and even if I win, doesn't matter. That's how easy for me it was to understand that what is my ultimate goal. So even if the initial disappointments or the initial wins did not make me settle, I had to keep working because my ultimate goal was something else. So as parent, as family, you need to come together with your child and understand what is your ultimate goal. And then I think the attitude will change.
Yeah. I'll give you some example, practical example of this, about the involvement of the parent and how the children have responded to that. One example I'll give you, especially the children who are small, with the God's grace, I firmly believe the way they are training and we are trying to bring them up, they will be making a path very soon. You'll see that they will make a path. Very soon means don't think that in a month or 2 or 6 months.
It
Definitely,
takes years, but
yeah, it takes years of time, but minimum about 2-3 years is the minimum time you can expect at a lower age. You can expect them to start giving some performance. One of the best example I'll give you, one of our national champion, junior national champion, who become in the seniors a regular member of the Indian team, national champions in the singles and the doubles. Earlier I never used to give the name, I'm giving you the name now. You might have heard of his name or on the Google you'll find that. And his name is Gutta, who is running an academy over there at Maharashtra. His son was around 10-year-old, 9-year-old. He sent his son, to Denmark. And he was trained at Denmark by a guy called Morten Frost. About Morten Frost, if I tell you, you will realize what it is. Morten Frost was world champion. Morten Frost was Olympic champion thrice. Morten Frost was the chief national coach of Denmark. Morten Frost was chief national coach of Japan at one time. Morten Frost was chief national coach of Malaysia at one time. To him, at the age of 10, Uday Pawar sent him, and his name is Anand Pawar, right? But Anand Pawar could never win even our national championship also. So I want to ask why. A player who has himself won the world championship, chief coach of 3 different playing nations for top, then why he could not come? Because the player himself has got to start thinking, and that thinking also comes from the parents. How you are pushing him to the limits by, say, for instance, another example I'll give you, you'll understand what I'm trying to say. One of the girls who have been training with me from a tender age in the old system, the girls matches for 11 points, right? Then she's winning at the First game she had won. Second game she is leading 8-1, 8-2. From there she has lost. Again she is leading in the third game 6-1, 6-2, 1, 6-1, 8-2, something like that. From there they are lost. Once, twice, thrice, 4 times, 5 times, 10 times. I got worried. I knew the reason. I knew the reason. I sent her to one of the top leading psychiatrists here, Dr. Pattaviram. I told him, he's a good friend of mine. I said, doctor, I'm sending this girl, you kindly test her. After testing her, he said only one thing, ask the parents to see you. Right. I told the parents, Dr. Pattaviram wants to see you. Both of the parents, they went over there, they came with the long faces. They said, the doctor is saying, nothing is wrong with the child. You people have got to change your behavior. The reason was her mother used to yell, slap her in the court after playing a match, shout at her, saying her, you are good for nothing, you can never become a player or something like that. And that girl then at the winning point is only thinking of that. And she always used to be a loser. Then I told her, father, hereafter your mother is not going with her because she's not at sports, she's not able to grasp the situation, and unnecessarily she's losing her temper, crying over there, and the child is unnecessarily feeling bad about that. Either you go, or if not, the coaches are taking them, the children let her go with that. And after that, she has played for the country in the juniors. What I'm trying to tell you is this, that once a child loses, who plays to lose? Kindly answer me this. Who is the person who is going to say that I want to play to lose? No child, nobody in this world. Who is the coach who don't want my child, my trainee who is working with me, is not going on the podium getting a gold medal or the silver medal or the top medal or something like that? We want that. Then what goes wrong? What do you think is, it takes his own time for the development. That's where the parents play a very important role by saying, encouraging, doesn't matter. You have lost today, tomorrow you are going to win. Don't lose your heart. Instead of staying today criticizing the system, criticizing the coach, this coach doesn't know anything, you are good for nothing, you can't win, or something like that, that will only demoralizing the children. Losing the confidence in himself or herself, which is not good. Forget about the sports. Sports is, as you said, sports is 35 years, okay. But how about their life? Their life will be spoiled because they will not be having the confidence in their, for the whole long life, they will not be having the confidence. So children, after losing so many times, only they have got to come up. And let me tell you, only the sports, let me tell you again, only and only the sports is the factor, is the thing in which every day we win, every day we lose. Show me any other thing in which this sort of situation can arise. Tell me, one thing you show me where you can just face this sort of situation. Nowhere, nowhere. And that's where the sportsman example is being given. That is, you have got the sportsmanship, you have got you're a sportsman at heart, or you're a sportsman in your thinking. Why? Because we know how to lose. We know how after losing we are getting up to fight again. That's makes the sportsman. That's where the parents play a very, very important role in encouraging them. Don't worry, today you are losing, tomorrow you will come up. And as you're asking about that, let me tell you that nobody as a matter of fact, has given a performance minimum in the tender ages. I'm speaking about 13, and it also depends when you have started, at what age you have started, what is your training age. Minimum 2-3 years is the minimum time when you can expect to start performing. And that too, if they are regularly participating in the tournaments. Exposure is absolutely important. I have already explained to you about that a parent who has regularly walking 10 times in your office will not be feeling nervous at all, because that has become a sort of a regular thing with him, and this environment he's got used to it. That's where we have got to, even let me tell you, one of our top, I'm forgetting about Dr. Radhakrishnan or somebody who's supposed to one of the best speakers. Some of the speeches I believe in UNO, they have already recorded and kept it. That person at one particular time, he has written down an article. He said, when I was supposed to be going to a podium to speak something, I used to feel nervous. A person of that caliber. that is a natural thing to feel nervous. That is natural to feel down at times or something like that. But we have got to keep on encouraging them to take part and just, even if they are losing, then how to stand again. And today you have lost, or you are going to win. That encouragement from the parents is absolutely must. We keep on telling them. When they lose, not that we don't scold them at times. What game you are playing? Is this the game you are supposed to play? Usually, it's like, sir, when I have got to win also, when I come, I said, sir, how you have played? No, I know, you could always play better than this. So you always feel bad about that. Sir, even if I am coming winner, you always used to say, no, you should play better. Why? Why we say like that? Because we want them to improve. We don't want them to go down. We want them to only mentally improve and just keep on improving. That's our aim. So as coaches, we scold them, we hug them, we try to encourage them. But when it comes from the parent side, they feel more encouraged. They feel more confident. So that's, I think, as parents, that's your very, very important role what you have to play as parents also. Any other question?
Sir, I have a suggestion.
Yeah, please.
We have spoken about the importance of education. I think being here at Sujata School, I think it's like a very very good thing because it is obviously to the mind of a parent. They will think that yeah, we are sending the kid to the academy. The school is also in the campus, but I feel what I've observed over the last 6 months is that the education part is not as integrated into the playing part.
We are still trying to figure that out. How to, we have to, हमें जब बोलते थे, I'm sure everyone here follows same age probably, but हमें जब बोलते थे आप चले जाते थे, right?
Yeah.
There was that fear of parents finding out. अभी that डर है थोड़ा कम down is what I feel. कभी
Ma'am,
कितना
that's important. I miss the session. That is what Martin says.
Huh?
I miss the main session.
No, so this.
But there's no makeup fun in the second half. Nobody cares.
No.
Afternoon, he says that only, no. See,
No,
the
that's
4:30
what
again
he-
he comes at 4:30.
No, that's
and
what
then nobody
he-
takes care of the. See how he is come for playing. I have sent him for playing.
Correct.
But education is important at the same time. But where he gets fit into it, how do we integrate? Sir has told, I was very happy with that.
Correct.
How do we integrate?
So that's what. What's Martin's age?
He's 15 and a half now.
15. At the
Even
age
now
of
my son
one
is,
second.
like,
One second. At the age of 15, I was playing two.
Ma'am,
One second.
Ma'am,
नहीं,
if you don't mind, I'll tell you one thing. आपका जमाना is lot of difference with the
Not-
current जमाना. These
it
boys
is-
don't listen only.
No, that I'm.
I've been telling you, remember.
I am understanding that they don't listen. I was also very naughty. I never listened. I was a rebel even in my family. What I'm trying to tell you is that when it came to playing, sir को भी पता है, sir तो थे ही मेरे कुछ तो. I used to play. I used to train in the morning. I'll give you my session. 6 to 8, go to school. Alright, 8 o'clock, 8:30, get ready in the stadium only. I used to bring my school bag, everything. Go to school catch a bus, go to school and come back at 2:33 and play from 4 to 6, 6:30. This is all I did all my
Ma'am,
life.
अभी तो
ये
school is here.
ये जो मिडिल सेशन है, ये अभी मैं देख रही हूँ सर से, मैं यही बोल रही थी सर मैंने इतना तो खेला ही नहीं. I have never played so much. At this growing age, sir focused only on my training bit. So when exam के time जब आता है, I tell Martin, at least exam के time में just do 2 sessions. पूरे साल he is anyway doing 3 sessions. We are getting him special permission. But exam के पहले he should not bother. He should not bother about that session. He's not missing anything. He's a very talented boy. I am looking at him. You can ask him. We are focusing on him. But the thing is, he thinks that he's missing, but he's not missing anything.
Ma'am, what is
That
the-
is his thinking.
Sir was also telling
There
that.
was a
Okay, now,
message
that is
that
the- एक के बाद एक suggestion दीजिए।
tuitions.
Yes, we are.
But if that can be arranged.
Ma'am,
That we are.
That can
So
be
Ma'am,
let me give the suggestion. What is the suggestion?
Sir was saying no, that actually we are telling, it's not that we are not telling a child. we are
I am
behind him.
saying you and me now have to find a way to
Yeah.
push them. This what he tells, that I am not being focused at in the evening. Nobody is focusing. That is itself is wrong. Is what
It
I'm
has
saying.
happened in the last 6 to 8 months back because he is there in the academy for the last 18 months
Yeah.
and more, I think, or maybe
Yeah.
1 month more. Now.
Yeah. I
So
remember
when-
his standard when he
Ah.
came. Now I'm sure you're seeing his standard. So I don't think he's not improved. I think
No,
he's
game wise, I am not complaining about game and all. I am just telling integration between playing and academics.
Just. No, you just suggest then what is.
Yeah, sir, that's what you have to tell the senior people you are there. Because now so we are always telling them.
No,
But they don't say what
What
we
is
can
your
do.
suggestion about this? What
At
do you
least,
think is
sir, कम से कम
somebody-
शाम को after evening as mandatory classes session बैठ के पढ़ो. And what sir has told
Sujata,
about
you come. Sujata will come here. Sujata, you come here.
we were doing that, not 1 hour, 2 hour study period.
On Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday.
No, we were doing this every day.
Previously we were doing.
Sujata is responsible for them after the dinner to make them sit over there in dining hall only. They should be sitting over there with the books.
Why you not?
Beta, no, I'm just telling them that are you making them sit with the books? At present, what has come recently here? What is it also?
संतोष is there. No, but मैंने already tuitions के लिए बोल दिया था. I don't know. I thought that no, just see, arrange the tuition. Just get that done. Don't wait.
Solution.
I have a suggestion.
Ma'am, one more thing, ma'am.
It
Sir
was
was
there
telling.
ma'am previously, but till presently it's discontinued. It was
No, I'm
previously
arranging
it
for
was there.
tuitions.
I think, all of you
Wednesday,
guys are doing
Saturday,
your,
Sunday.
all of you guys are doing your best.
The classes was
So I think the school should also step up a bit.
School will not. School is now not my responsibility,
Who is
right?
giving cooperation?
अभी मैं ये भी करूँ मैं school भी.
The point that I'm trying to make here is,
No, what we do is,
Yeah.
I'll tell you, we have already requested the school to give their faculties on our request. Naturally, it will get against the payment.
No, we've already arranged.
see, we got our ward admitted here, and I learned to my surprise that he is not even attended one class. It was also the responsibility of the school to tell me and the
Oh, they are not telling you?
It was only during the exam when his parents showed up.
Then we should talk to
That's what I'm
the teacher
thinking.
की messages तो आते हैं ना that is.
No.
The kid did not show up at even one class, and at the exam, we just came up and they were like, "Where is this guy?" I said, "This guy is admitted here. He lives in the same building. Haven't you thought that?"
So that I didn't know.
Yeah.
That is.
So that's what I'm suggesting, ma'am. The school should step up.
Jayaprakash, note this down that the parents are not being informed whether Martin also doesn't go to
Martin
class.
doesn't go to school, but school teacher calls me up sometimes because he's in 10th.
Yeah.
My present he is in class 9.
Okay.
And
My
he
son
was a good
is in
student and
12th.
they stopped
So
studying
I'm
after all.
speaking to Rashika sir, like earlier that message came
Wednesday and
from
हाँ तो क्या हुआ? Doesn't matter. Just bring a comment.
सर वो आपका चेन्नई मॉडल ऑफ मोबाइल वाला प्लीज अडॉप्ट कीजिए सर.
Please, the phone.
Yes.
The
yes.
Chennai model.
Yes, ma'am. We are
With
ready.
an iron
No
hand.
other go, otherwise
With an
becoming
iron hand, it should be enforced.
As sir told the ma'am that
No.
not only education, playing.
Only on Saturday.
Can you believe
That's a rule that
yesterday
only
nobody
Sir.
submitted phone yesterday.
Ma'am,
I'm punishing them. I'm suspending
one,
them
na?
from playing. Nothing is working. It's quite surprising actually.
And ma'am, please.
In case, see.
सर की बात सुनते भाई मेरी भी बात नहीं सुनते.
So we can definitely implement, but we want that all the parents agree to that.
yes, everybody go
above 18 above 18
ऐसा कुछ नहीं मैम.
above 18 को फिलहाल हम जो अभी कर रहे हैं वो
मैम वही प्रॉब्लम हो जाती है फिर से वही है. उसका पास है हमारे पास है.
हाँ वो पूरा.
Yeah, beauty should
And
be
ma'am,
able to
fine,
go
right.
to the older kids to watch films and all.
Yes.
and a lot of players have two mobile phones.
Yes, I believe something I know of that also.
Mobile is a problem.
The
And
greatest
no,
problem.
no smartphone.
आपके जमाने में मैम कोई मोबाइल नहीं था.
I
कोई
felt
जरूरत नहीं है. Now there is no
I
COVID
feel
ma'am.
old.
Huh? During COVID, online classes were
Correct.
there. Now there is no online classes. So no need of smartphone.
तो should we stick to एक landline लगा देना बस.
वो लगाए तो best है मैम.
Yeah.
Landline तो है ही
Best
office
है.
में.
Best है मैम. वो आइडिया
So
best है.
that way the conversation time would also be restricted.
Ma'am, no need of landline also.
No need of landline.
But that way the
वहाँ पे
conversation
लाइट
time.
नहीं
No need of landline. I don't find actually need of landline.
And they are done. You know? So that way, and it's one phone for everyone, right? So that way the discipline can be really enforced.
What you're saying that I'm telling you, in the camps, let me tell you that they used to go book a call naturally.
Stand in the line.
Stand in the
STD
line,
booth.
waiting for their calls to be
फिर वो बजट भी रहता था ना सर 10 रुपए इसके ऊपर
Yes ma'am.
वो बचते वो 1 rupee 2 rupees होते रहते हैं वे लाइक टेंशन हो गया टाइम हो गया रख दो.
Coin was there ma'am.
But we've done all that, but yeah, that's Satya.
One smaller problems than many parents here.
You have a smaller kid.
Yeah. So, basically, for about 2 years, he had been training in the academy. So he started at 6, now he's 8. He has been asking me as to when he will get to play any games or tournaments. So we don't know. So I just wanted an answer so that I can give.
So the same thing which I told you, he's too small right now. We should do this morning and evening thing only, so that a schedule, a routine is built for next another year or so. Then boy, chota, sir, height, racket ka height hai wo. वो खेलेगा, लेना. वो देखो.
No, he wants to play about him. One thing I'll tell you.
दिख रहा नहीं.
And then once he just came to me and simply asked me one question. Sir, can I become a world champion? I said, why you are feeling you can't become a world champion? When I will become, I said, when you are regularly trained, you will come up and become a world champion. Then my photograph will be hanging over here.
Yeah.
So here he has got the goals that his photograph has
Yes.
got to be hanging over there in this thing. Only the thing is, at times what happens mentally is sometimes they get subdued if they are losing badly. That's a reason we say he's about what age now? 8. I think not this season is getting over. Next year onwards he is going to start with the programs. No problem.
Yeah, next year is still.
Absolutely no problem. And as far as this is concerned, as you said, you people are agreeing to that.
School को तो
Slowly,
बोलना पड़ेगा.
school को बोलना
I'm
पड़ेगा.
separate. I didn't know this.
And another thing is
normally
that
ask her.
tuition का you have got to do.
Tuition बोल दिया मैंने we had already arranged. I don't know why it didn't start.
And
Wednesday, Saturday,
let the
Sunday.
warden, madam,
Yes.
that's your job now. And you just make it a point that after the dinner is over,
Yeah.
they have got to be bringing their book.
1
when they come
hour
over
study
there.
period.
And they have got to sit with the books minimum for 1 hour.
8:30 to 9:30.
Yeah.
Minimum for every day. All the children go to study now. And all of them are school students.
Mess.
Except
In the mess.
They have got to. This is your report.
9:30 anyway collecting phones now.
So this is we'll do that. And yes, बताइए.
Sir, I've got some bit experiences of that tournaments. Last tournament they went to Goa, national tournaments. Under 19, I think some coaches were there. Under 17, there were no coaches. Martin went up to the last round on the main draw. The last match he lost second set. In Goa, and there was some manipulation. It seems what he said. And I think so there were some hiccups here and there, so he's got diverted to 2 points clear, otherwise he would have been in main draw under 17.
Just a minute. He was the one who was present over there at Goa.
He was not.
Let us ask him what's happening.
Second week था क्या वो?
Yes.
So then you came back.
हाँ
Then no other coach left there.
हाँ मेरे को पहली बार first of all I am not getting, that's why I told the coaches they tell me 2 days before मेरे को समझ में नहीं आया, then they went then they're like Oric tournament, they don't tell me in advance, so I told them that after that.
And that problem can be solved also. You have
Sir, one more thing, sir.
particular.
One more with that attached.
हाँ
Why not we move as a team instead of one boy going like this, one boy going by flight, one boy going by train, one
That-
stays some hotel here, there, food,
that
कुछ
also
नहीं होता है.
that also I'm doing it. One thing we need to understand that we are on a tight budget.
Ma'am, we'll bear.
No, you'll bear.
We'll bear for tournaments.
That is there, but then other parents will not. You.
For example, everybody is going by flight.
But train में जाइए ma'am.
It will be very.
It will be uniform.
Correct.
It's
मैं-
teamwork,
So
ma'am.
team might
I
actually
am.
plan रहता है.
No. I am planning to. That's why vision now. That's why I'm looking for sponsors so that I'm able to send a manager, like someone like Rajshekhar. He can book tickets for everybody. He can book hotel for everybody. The players need not bother about all of that.
As a team they move, as a team they come.
I am trying to do
Yes.
that.
Yes, the
We've
team-
never.
Actually, this is a very important factor what you're saying. The teamwork
Correct.
and
But
as a team when you go is very important.
But again, as parents, I would like you to tell them to adjust.
Yeah.
कभी नहीं हुआ गलती से. अभी इंडियन टीम में गया मार्टिन, इंडियन टीम गया. कोई उसका कोच है जो he wants his player to play well and not Martin. Now Martin's coaches are not available. What will Martin do? He has to use his own brain. I never had RS training
Ma'am,
coaching.
opposite में उसका invariably coach was sitting.
Yes, मेरे opposite में sitting, मेरे पीछे sitting. Who wants me to lose? अब बताओ मैं खेली नहीं खेली. You are understanding? We have to make. No, I understand that, sir, but we have to make them stronger. My point is that doesn't matter. Court में the racket is in my hand, the shuttle is in my control. कोई कोच रहने दो, कोई भी रहने दो, खेलो मैं. Bring it on. That should be a challenge. It'll only make him stronger for upcoming years. We cannot. I don't want this spoon feeding to happen, which is happening everywhere else.
Ma'am,
There's one more example.
ma'am, इनका
Doesn't matter.
mind was
Okay, one
I
example
can
I'll
only
give
give
you.
my example. No, what
Then I'll give you an example. When I went over there with the Indian team, on 6 courts, out of 6 courts, 4 of the Indian players are playing. I'm the only coach with the Indian team. What do you think I should do under that situation?
Which player he should go and sit?
So in that circumstance, what we do is we see which is the player who has got 50-50 chances so that he or she can win. Because at times they are playing against a top player and we go and encourage them before going. We see that they are giving their best. Mentally we prepare them and we leave them. But I can be at a particular time only with one player on one court. Whereas all my 4 Indian players are playing on 4 courts out of 6 and I am alone with the Indian team. What do you think I will do? And such situations come, and that's the reason what we usually do is we prepare them mentally so that they are very, very strong enough. Somebody is there or not. I have got to give my best. That sort of a thing we try because why I'm telling you this? As a coach, I'm sitting, okay, right. How much is the time for a player to decide when he or she is going to make a stroke? How much is the time? For that, I'll give you an example. Simple example. One of our secretaries of chess, he once came and said, "Sir, your players are playing very good badminton and all. Why don't you put them on the chess also, so that their moves and all become very, very strong, thinking and all?" I said, "I'm sorry, I cannot make my players play because in chess you can sit, decide, take your time and play. My player, when he is or she is on the foot, going from the center to the sideline, fraction of a second, he has got to think 10 things while moving. Where is the shuttle I'm contacting? When I'm contacting my shuttle, where is the opponent who has to make the stroke? What stroke I'll play so that I'm putting the opponent into trouble. And after the trouble, in case the return comes, where I'm going over there. 10 things at a time a player has got to do. As a coach, what do you think I can do? Can I tell him, oh, you have tossed it, come now, you go for a drop down the line or something? Do you think that they can understand and to execute that? That's not possible. So what we try to do is we mentally make them strong, independent. In the training, they should understand, and that's one of the. And one more thing I'll ask all the parents: kindly do what this one particular thing. See that when the children are going for the matches, we want their matches recorded because we want to see. We have got our
Projector.
we have a projector and all, or on their mobile also. Some people come with that. We sit over there and analyze and tell them the mistakes what they are coming. A simple example for that are the two players, Kashyap and Shruti Kurian. When they used to come back after a tournament, they used to tell only one story. So this thing happened, opponent did this, I did this, and then I lost the match. Every time about the same story they are going on repeating. Once I said, sorry, I don't believe what you're saying. You people come with your match recorded, and then you tell me. The moment they went for the next tournament, they recorded it. From there only, they are saying, they're giving a call saying, what filthy game I have played, sir. Only by watching their own match. So we want that sort of a thing, so that it's getting to their subconscious. We cannot execute their stroke sitting outside, or we cannot inculcate that habit to listen to us and just totally depend on a coach. We want them to have that confidence in themselves, so that when they are there, they are feeling, yes, I'm strong enough, I can play my game. Yes, coach is there to advise them in their dresses or something. It will be really good. It's good. But all these children, let me tell you, these children, not only her, I'm saying more than 230 titles my children have got.
He never sat.
I never sat with anybody in my lifetime. Yes, I want to take the team over there. I used to see that they are doing proper homework, this, that. But I never sat. Earlier, it was not permitted also. This has started hardly about 20 years back.
Now it started.
Hardly about 20 years back, this is in badminton, it has started that the coaches are sitting at the back. Otherwise, they were not permitted.
I'll give another example. Commonwealth Games, I was playing semi-finals. My coach, let's not name him, came and told Ashwini's weapon, Ashwini, I don't know, my partner, Ashwini's only strong stroke is smash. He said, stop smashing. She stops that, we lost again. She heard him blindly, our coach, abhi suno baat. Next game, I was like, why are you not hitting? She said, the coach told me not to hit. So now, being a player, I have to use my own brain, or should I depend on the coach who doesn't want me to probably win?
So that never happened in our place.
No, not here. I'm saying if Martin goes to Indian team, yes, now he should have the own capacity to think. What is correct? Is the coach saying correct? Should I follow it or no? That will happen only if that independence comes from a young age. समझो कभी अभी ये हो गया. I didn't know about the 17 tournament. I knew about the 19. I couldn't send the coach. We should be prepared. It's okay.
It's okay. But that's
all right.
We definitely like to send the children. Okay.
No,
but at times they have
I am sending them.
And we try to prepare the children mentally strong, have the confidence on themselves.
So next time as a beginner they go, it will be very good.
I am trying.
And as far as expenses are concerned, our children will definitely going, coming, out of charge, we have to bear.
No. That is fine. Correct. That is fine. But I'm trying to do that. Whole team, book everyone together. This I need to know. That's why I said I need to know the calendar much ahead.
Yeah, all the children.
Now in Vijayawada it is there, ma'am. I think under 17 Vijayawada.
Kabaddi.
16, ma'am. 16 hours.
She is not telling me something. I need to know.
16 hours.
Just give it a start.
Why I'm not being told.
And before that there is MetLife or the PNB MetLife in Hyderabad.
No, so that's why, that is one of the reasons why I bought that big van, so that the whole team travels together.
PNB MetLife is also there. Where it is a date
So, but I want my Jwala Gutta Academy means strong.
Yeah, that's why we are speaking. I am speaking.
No, I'm saying
if I
that,
keep quiet, if you say we'll keep quiet.
No, I'm not asking you to. I'm also telling you that we could also address it the other way, make them independent. Let's do that as well. You know, they
And
could be
when
human.
like children they are playing, so like other children also they cheer up. Just cheer up. If coaches are
Yeah,
not
it's
doing that
always
also
Yes.
No,
matters.
that,
If they are going
That is a teamwork.
no, that, no, that I've always told. I don't know if they're following. Huh?
We have to encourage to all.
That's a very important factor. It
Correct.
makes so much of a difference.
Lot of difference.
After all, this is our academy,
Yes,
ma'am.
yes. No, not only this.
100%.
Now this time
मैं तो
this is Thomas Cup or Japan. It's only because of the lot of cheering, not only from our players, but all the Indians being over there, they are present over there during the tournament. Because of their cheering up, our players have given the best of our performance and they won the after 75 years we won the Thomas Cup. It's only because of that encouragement from India. It's very important. No doubt.
Ma'am, one more point I will.
I told you, give me 4 weeks.
You बताइए.
Ma'am, when the children are falling sick, especially my son, we are not having at least a list of doctors, phone doctor किसके लिए है, कौन सा phone number, ऐसा कुछ रहने से अच्छा रहता. Because they are languishing in there only.
Yes, madam.
1-2 days they are just sleeping like that only.
From stomach ache and all that time he went to warden, she is not there. So luckily my
वो तो
grandma
medicine नहीं
actually-
मिलता है. She said I told 12 what warden will do, she doesn't have anything. ठीक है, okay. Go to doctor, I don't know which is the doctor. So these are all things, practical issues which they are facing in the hospital. If you can have a list of doctors with phone numbers.
I thought we had a doctor.
No, madam. Otherwise we
Ma'am,
have web
because
consultation.
we are having this facility, Bhaskar Medical College. I went yesterday.
So
Very
all-
good doctors are there.
Yeah, yeah.
Doctors, all
That can be a
all
good one.
children are sent there only.
Yeah, you can have a diet.
We know the owners also.
Yeah, that will be very good, ma'am.
Somebody
That will be very
said,
More
There's already time up, no?
Shadan is available and Bhaskar.
We are
we can pay
time.
the traveling cost and fees also.
Traveling, we have a car and all. We're sending the other day Madhura, I think, had some asthmatic problem. We sent her to Bhaskar. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
That also
Please
can be
access to a
arranged, it will be
doctor.
easy for them.
General physician.
General physician number maybe.
And ma'am, I would also recommend if there was an option for the parents to send some medication. Like my cousin.
You can send.
What happened?
Yes, sir.
We tried Apollo guy got lost and there's a lead time. If we try some of the regular services, if there was a pharmacy nearby.
There are pharmacies.
Preparing the place as well. If they request anything else, we are preparing also.
Apollo is there, Moina
So
Bhaskar.
maybe if that is happening, the kid is not aware.
We are having time with the one of the
No,
location.
Rajshekhar gets, yeah, he gets the medicine. There's Medwick, yeah, there's one hospital right here.
Ma'am, nearest वाला कौन सा है?
Bhaskar, 500
Bhaskar,
meters.
Take it,
Bhaskar,
don't feel shy.
Bhaskar is here by this
Take it, take
500
it. Don't
meters.
feel shy. Why you feeling
And
shy?
pharmacy.
वो मार्टिन वो चालू है, वो उसको सब पता है, वो उसको कुछ चाहिए मुझे कॉल करता है, important things में he will not call. बताओ, boys are calling saying दीदी बार नहीं आया. Now बार नहीं आया, they can call me, they don't call me for important things, then that's, I expect they call at 11 also. I have never restricted children from calling me, they can call me anytime and I'm always there. Even when they are not there, I'm always there. तो चालू है मार्टिन, बार नहीं आया, they can call me, they can't call me for medicine. बताओ सर.
ये बार-बार का मामला
वो
है.
मार्टिन बोला सर, मार्टिन परसों क्या बोला, खाना नहीं मिल रहा, फिर सीसीटीवी देखा ऐसे पराठा लेके जा रहा वो कहीं, कहाँ लेके जा रहा नहीं मालूम, हाँ, and then he says खाना नहीं. But I like, see Martin, what I like is that he likes to come together and then he's like, he wants to like demand, I like that about him, but कभी-कभी I think he's very शैतान बहुत है वो भाई.
Ma'am, they are complaining about chicken, ma'am. They are getting limited chicken, like only one bowl of chicken, like sometimes.
250. One bowl is not this much. This is dahi ka bowl. Chicken bowl, no. Chicken bowl is this much. 250 grams. Don't believe children. You come and eat at our mess sometimes, then you will know. Who is eating here at our mess? Nobody. I'll one day. Who is that? I will treat all of you for lunch or dinner. We should have had dinner today, no? Parents had lunch today?
Yes, ma'am.
Was that okay? Lunch?
Yeah, it was okay, very good, very good.
Exactly. So chicken, if they're complaining,
I don't believe my son, that I asked many boys,
No.
are you getting limited? They say, yes, auntie, only 1 pound chicken.
see, it's a hostel. We have to run with kept them.
It should be unlimited, they're saying.
I'll tell you.
Yes,
One
Chai
time,
hostel bata do.
like I used to have before my wife joined, I used to have along with the children the same mess board. I found a very small cave, very small cave. In his plate, always it was might be
Overeating.
about, it might be about half a kg. Well, I told him, is he going to eat or distribute it? I said, oh, I appreciate his appetite. But let me tell you, that will be only spoiling his health. So,
They might be hungry. That's why I tell Martin also that you should know how much to eat. You know, he might be hungry, but he cannot overeat. Like Riya, आपको रिया पता है? रिया पाटिल. इतने सी 4 मसाला डोसा, 2 अंडा, फिर कॉर्नफ्लेक्स, फिर उसमें दूध. That was our breakfast. I said, how are you coming going to play after that?
It's all good.
तो कभी दो दो नहीं, इससे ज्यादा नहीं, सिर्फ 2 मेरे को खाने को नहीं मिला, फिर go complain. Riya was eating 4 masala dosa with aloo. I ate one. I'm like, you know.
I think one this must be after.
So I'm saying, you know, I'm giving 250 grams of chicken. I think that's a lot for even a kid. So I say sometimes extra कुछ चाहिए, बीच में भूख लगता है. Tell your